Hey everybody, it's Rob with Cherry City Guns and Ammo, and today we're doing a second look at the Smith & Wesson 350. So what we're going to go for today is to answer some questions that you guys had and you placed in the comments of the first video, and some questions I had myself. Among those questions are, do you have to use moon clips to shoot it? Can you shoot it without it? I have tested it. I've got some, I've figured out a few things. We'll go over it and I'll let you see it so you're not just taking my word for it. Unloading tool. Got my unloading tool for TK Custom. Does it work? You can get more moon clips through TK Custom and the unloader, because Smith & Wesson doesn't have the moon clips available to sell yet. At least last time I looked. That may have changed. TK Custom moon clips, 5 of them for 40 bucks. So I got some more moon clips. The other thing is, if this is supposed to be the ultimate hunting handgun, which is kind of how they're marketing it, how does it perform with hunting bullets? As far as with the much lower velocity that you're getting out of this gun, are those hunting bullets going to expand as designed and actually be effective hunting rounds? The other thing that we're going to talk about and look at is accuracy. As you can see, I've added a loop-holed Freedom RDS red dot to it. It's not magnified, and we will demonstrate its accuracy capabilities. Is it accurate enough to actually hunt with? We're going to look at all that in this video. Stick around while we get set up, and we'll get going. Alright, the first question that we're going to try to answer for you has to do with moon clips. I'm doing that one first because that's what got the most questions. Do you have to use moon clips to shoot this gun? Well, I'm going to try to hold this up close so you can kind of see everything I'm doing. So here's the cylinder, and let's see. So those seem to sit down in there just fine. There must be something that the case mouth is hitting that's stopping them from going too deep. As you can see, they're not sticking out the bottom of the cylinder, so that seems to be okay. The main thing is the ejector is not going to work because the ejector pushes against the moon clip to pop them out of there. But will it fire? Can you fire it and then just pull those out one at a time? Well, let's go ahead and fire these and we'll figure it out. I'll turn my red dot on. Okay, so that didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. I have done this before with no moon clip in it, and 2/3 of them fired. The other third got actually pushed forward just a pinch more in the cylinder. There was still a dent in the primer, but they still got pushed forward just a little bit in the cylinder to where it didn't get a hard enough primer strike to actually set it off. So all 7 of those went off. So can you shoot it without the moon clip? Yes, but you don't necessarily have really good reliability. We got lucky 7 out of 7, but I'm going to tell you from my experience, because I tested this out before, it's not going to be 100%. But it'll mostly work. Here's the downside. Moon clip gets pushed out by the extractor. You don't have that, so you have to push them out. Here we got a pencil. And my luck, since I'm doing it on video, I'm not going to have the same results I had before. But look at that. Okay, so pushed right out. No problem. This is hard to do on camera, holding this thing vertical. And these are sliding out easy enough, maybe, just maybe, they would fall out if I tipped it back. This is not going to work out like it did before because I have a camera rolling. And then you're going to think I'm a liar. Of course, these are all coming out real easy. That one had just a little bit of a break it had to do. Of course. Again, I guess now you have to take my word for it. But I had some when I tested this before that were very difficult to get out. And I had to put like something in there and actually kind of give it a smack to loosen the brass. I think if I tipped this thing upside down, all those would have fallen out because I have it on camera. So sure, you can shoot it without moon clips. Sure, you can get the brass out of there without moon clips. But just believe me, even though I wasn't able to demonstrate it so far, it's not going to be 100% reliable. But now, see, I was going to use moon clips for this rest of this video after doing this test, but now I'm not. Now I'm not going to use moon clips at all, because I have to show you that I'm not lying. That sometimes they don't go off, and sometimes they are a pain in the butt to extract, despite what that just showed you. All right, on to the next. All right, next subject we're going to address again has to do with moon clips. TK Custom, one of the great things about them is they make all kinds of really cool moon clip loaders, because typically moon clips are very difficult to load. The nice thing about the way these are designed is you have we're in the shadow again. Let's turn this way. The morning sun really messed with you. You've got the part where the round actually clips in, and then you've got a little slot in between it, and that's to release the pressure. That's good and bad. It's great because normally you could never load a moon clip with your fingers with that much ease. Usually that little center slot is not there, so it makes it all much more rigid. And Smith & Wesson designed them like this on purpose so you could load them without a specific moon clip loader, which is nice. But I will tell you, it's a pain in the butt, and if you watch my last video, it is a pain in the butt to unload them almost every time. Except for this one right here. See that one right there? Load and unload. That I'm pissed about. Let me explain. You try to pop the rest of these out by hand. That's the thing that sucks, is unloading is a pain. And when you go on the TK Custom website to buy more moon clips, they tell you, although they don't make a loader because you don't need it, that they suggest getting their unloading tool. And as you can see, so it's got like a screwdriver type handle on it. It's basically a chunk of pipe, and you've got this little notch. Let me put one in here. Basically, the way that it's supposed to work is you slide this up onto the round. And I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but normally you don't have a slot and it stops right there, and you continue to twist and it gets leverage and pops the round out. I'm not gonna do that with this one. I'm gonna have to pull it out the dumb way, and let me show you this. That's the one where I popped it out really easy. As you can see, around goes right in and out, in and out, in and out. Why? Because that's the very first one I tested this stupid unloading tool on, and I'll put it around back in there. Barely even holds it. With the way these moon clips are designed, see, it just falls out. Stay there. These moon clips are designed, and the way this loading tool is designed, even if you try to keep this close, this ends up going into the slot. And then as I was trying to use the unloading tool as designed, it bent that ear. So $8 a pop for these little moon clips, and I buy their unloading tool that they suggested I buy, and now I've ruined one of my moon clips. And even if I can bend that back with pliers, it's metal. You bend it, you unbend it, you now have a weak spot. So it may never behave the same. I'm going to call TK Custom, and I'm going to get my money back on this because I don't feel like it's any use to me, and I'm going to ask them to send me a replacement moon clip. Because even if it works after I bend it back, I don't know for how long. On to the next. Alright, we were set up with some water jugs downrange. We're just going to see, do these actual hunting bullets expand as designed. I only have two to test. We're still obviously in an issue where you can't buy whatever kind of ammo you want at any time that you want, just because that's kind of the nature of things right now. Has much improved since COVID's kind of come to an end, but we still got a lot of catching up to do. So up first, 170 grain Hornady American Whitetail 350 Legend. That seemed quite explosive. Let's go downrange and see what happened. Alright. Well, they definitely all pushed out quite a bit, so something good must have happened. So there's our first jug destroyed. Second jug, you can see where it entered and came out the back. third jug entered, came out the back. I don't know if this was one of our side jugs and somehow it popped. There's our fourth jug. You can see where it impacted and came out the back. And here's our fifth jug. And you see where it impacted and came out the back. So we got no bullet catch. And maybe it expanded. Maybe it didn't. I'm honestly truly terrified that that means that it did not expand and stayed skinny and just flew through all of them. So I guess we're going to line up what's left and try again. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is a piece of the jacket. Haven't shot out here in a couple of weeks. We've had a bunch of rain. This copper jacket looks very, very fresh, very, very shiny. Anything that would have been done from before, most likely all it could have been from the 9mm we were shooting earlier. And maybe that's not it. Now that I think about it, it's probably not it. Could be it, I don't know. We watched the recording back, we couldn't tell where we were any puff of dust. Maybe you could see it better on your TV, but looking at our little camera screen, we could not see any visual impact. But we ended up popping 7 jugs, so we had 3 lines of 5. So we popped all 5 in a line, and then 2 of the side ones, just from the impact, they ended up popping as well. They just got split. There was no bullet hit. Didn't look like they were fragments. There was just a split, and it must have been just from a pressure wave from one of the middle ones expanding out, because it does hit hard. But yeah, no bullet catch. So we came out here with 15 jugs. We popped 7, but we've got 8 in a row, and it's all 8 in a line. I'm now going to shoot one of the 180 grain Winchesters, and hopefully we can catch a bullet and get some kind of information. Otherwise, this was all for naught. But we're going to give it a try. Give me 1 second, we'll get loaded up, and we'll get started. Okay, so we're going to try this again. It's a 180 grain Winchester XP, Super X, 180 grain Winchester Super X, and the 350 Legend. 8 water jugs, all in a line. I really hope we catch this because I really want to see how it reacts. Here we go. We definitely popped a few. I don't know if we popped them all, but let me put the gun down and we'll go check it out. All right, walking up here. No idea which one was in the front because they just all got cleared. It definitely seems to hit really hard. Looks like I made a low shot. This one's not losing water at a terrible rate. Is that one losing water?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. We have holes on both sides, but there might be chunks in the middle. We'll see. We will see. Oh, that's our back one, and that looks like holes on both sides. Feel anything jiggling around in there? We have holes on both sides. All right, just like the last time, we went and looked all over the bank in line with where the bullet should have been traveling. We couldn't find anything. I'm pretty sure that jacket before was probably from a 9mm that we were shooting earlier, because it was right underneath the target that I shot several times with a 9mm with jacketed rounds. I can't begin to tell you how much I'm disappointed when I get an inconclusive test. If I'm going to be fair, the most I can say is inconclusive. I will tell you that my hunch, and I could be wrong, for it to penetrate that many water jugs, I have serious doubts that it expanded. Either one. I've shot 600 grain hollow points with my 500 Magnum, and I've only gone into 4 jugs, even with a 500 Magnum, which is so incredibly powerful, because anything that expands, granted that was a hollow point, these are soft points. Soft points are not going to expand as quickly as a solid cast lead hollow point. But expanding tends to slow them down, which is kind of the whole intent. You're shooting animals with it. You want it to slow down as it expands. It gives you a bigger wound cavity, and it also transfers more energy to the animal than when it passes straight through. So my hunch is they didn't expand. I can't begin to imagine that if they expanded, there's any way that they penetrated that many water jugs. I have a hard time buying it. If we want to maybe have a slightly more conclusive test, and one of you guys want to spring for some clear ballistic gel for me, I would be forever in your debt. That would be cool. Stuff's rather expensive. It's like 150 bucks a block. I would need to have 2 blocks put end to end, and then I would probably also put water jugs behind it just to make sure that after 32 inches of ballistics gel it didn't keep going. I'm gonna have to try to figure out something, because I really want a more conclusive test. I want to know 100%, are these expanding or not, even though my hunch is no, they're not. They're staying whole and just zipping through because they don't have enough velocity. But I could be completely and totally mistaken, but I don't know. I want to know. I really want to know. I'm going to do another follow-up video with this revolver. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I enjoy it quite a bit, even though I've said that I don't feel like it had all the features that it could have or should have had for the price point that they put on this revolver. Nevertheless, I'm enjoying it, and I have seen some incredible accuracy. I wasn't able to squeeze that kind of accuracy out of it today. I don't know if it's just because I had a bad shooting setup where I wasn't comfortable. And you know, honestly, sometimes you have bad shooting days. Still was minute a deer accurate. You could it definitely still showed deer killing capabilities at 60 yards without a doubt. I just know it can do a whole lot better, and I'll take the blame for it. I don't care. Anyway, if you'd like to see some more follow-ups of this video or see any of my future videos, make sure that you hit the notification bell so you get notified when new videos come out. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Like the video if I earned your like. It really means the world to me. And as always, if you want to join my Patreon and help support me, that'd be great. But it's absolutely not necessary. If you liked it, share it, post it on your social media. All that stuff helps me out a ton, and I can't thank you enough for any of you that do that for me. It means the world to me in helping to progress my channel. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.